The Graphic 970 printer, the button, the trigger that you push to get the unit to print, the dial on the side where you can see 1 through 4, as well as a few other functions which we can discuss at a further time. The micro USB with the little charging light. The batteries are right here. You can either use the machine, pre-charged. You'd have to charge it with either the USB or a separate power plug that it comes with. So you can either use it tethered in or completely cord free. And then you also have the USB cord, which either would be in the front of your computer or the back of the computer. I don't have Bluetooth set up currently, so I'm going to show you how to do this with the plug actually connected to the printer at this time. Here is the program on my computer. So you see here 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all the 4 imprints. You need to make sure that each set of information is actually in between the dotted lines. Over here, I right-clicked, text format, and you can pick a font style, and a size. So you specified that you'd like to get about as, close to a 1/2 inch as possible. So we're going to do a 36 font, bold, and we can stick with Arial for now. Say OK, and then you just drag down, left click, drag down, and then you just type in the information that you want. .970 printer, MP3 ink is the type because it looks like the samples that you sent in are actually coded, and I don't think the water-based ink will work on most. Then we're going to actually go over here. We'll turn on the printer to 1. It doesn't matter if it's on 1, whichever one it's on. It doesn't matter if it's on 1, 2, or 3, but the printer needs to be on. And then we'll come back over here and hit this transfer button. Would you like to replace the present print data? That's always going to come up. We say yes. You'll see the progress bar on the bottom, and then the transfer is successful. I only transferred to 3, 1, 2, and 3, so there's nothing in slot 4. If I wanted to save this file for another time, I can do save as, and then just type in the information, and I could pull that up at another time and just make a change to 1 character, let's say. I'm going to put you on pause, and then we'll do the imprints. I looked closely at the samples, and it seems like some of them are coded and some are uncoded. So I'm actually going to be doing the imprint where it shows the machine and the ink. The MP3 ink is the quick drying ink, and the P3S is the water-based ink. This way you'll actually be able to tell the difference between which is which on the imprint. So I transferred this. You always want to have a sheet of paper nearby. I'm doing this one-handed, so it's a little difficult. This is the print carrier. You can slide it gently by hand. There is another way to do this, which I can explain, but I usually just slide it by hand. You open this little door. Like this. It's on a little latch. And then you take the cartridge, slide it in, and close the door. Then you can squeeze the trigger and it will go back into place. You always want to have a test sheet of paper nearby. I'm going to switch it to 3. And make sure that it's printing well, right? And then you can take it to the part. This is the quick drying ink on one of the pieces of wood that's not coated, so it dried instantly. Here is a piece that's shiny, as you can see. Take it. But this ink also dries instantly or almost instantly on coated surfaces and doesn't smear. Now I'm going to switch over to the water-based ink. Loaded the water-based ink cartridge into this now, and I switched to the dial to 4 since that's going to show that I'm using the water-based ink. Did our little test. That's the P3S. I'm just going to show you on the coated surface. If I try to do the P3S, which is the water-based here, you'll see wiped right off. So that's not possible for coated surfaces. But then if I take this piece of wood here, which is not coated, this is going to take a couple of seconds to sink in because of how thick and how much ink is being laid down. But if I wait another couple of seconds, you'll see here it works pretty well. And now it's completely dry. Just do a couple more imprints. This one is another uncoated porous piece, which I'm going to use the water-based ink. I can click the button once, right? If I really want the imprint to be darker, I can click the button twice without moving the machine, and it lays down double the amount of ink. And you can see the imprint is a little bit darker. And again, that water-based ink works on the uncoated surface. A piece of wood like this would pose a problem if you were trying to print on the edge, because you'll see the cartridge carrier actually can't, that right angle is preventing the cartridge from sitting in the right area. So for something like this, you'd have to print here. For something like this piece of wood, that's no problem. You just have to hold it steady, and I wasn't able to do that while actually holding the camera. Again, for this type of part, the printer would not, the cartridge actually would, fall off the edge. You wouldn't be able to get the right area on this part, so you'd have to print somewhere like here. And it's okay that there's a little bit of a raised area. You can just set the machine. There you go.